Steve, there were some, at times, big NHL efforts from the guys you'd expect.
Yeah, you know what, it was great. I think, one of the keys for us tonight was not losing our team identity. When you bring in the Carter Ashtons, the Trevor Smiths, the Peter Hollands, you can easily lose your team identity for us, which is built on being a blue-collar hockey club, as you well know. So the nice thing for us is the David Broles, the Jamie Devans played that hard-type game. Andrew McWilliam played an entire shift with a tooth that was still on the ice, and that's how we have to play. So if we can keep our identity and sprinkle in some of that talent, we'll be a tough team.
You mentioned McWilliams' tooth. You had D'Amigo come get his wrist taped, and then you had Carter Ashton with 8 stitches in his head try to re-enter the game with a minute left. What does that say about the fight in your hockey?
Well, that's how we have to play, and that's what our Marley team is this year. And we're not at times the most prettiest of clubs in the American Hockey League, but when you're playing teams like Abbotsford or Grand Rapids or Texas, we have to play a certain style. So it was nice tonight that we played with that energy and with that grit. And it was also nice that our power play now with the Peter Hollands on it can put teams away when we have that chance.
Is that character a normal trait in a hockey player, or is that something special that only some guys have?
No, our scouting staff deserves a lot of credit for the McWilliams and guys like that, the Broles, the Devans guys I mentioned earlier. Those kids just play a hard game, and it was definitely infectious on our hockey club tonight.
You took 12 shots in the first 5 minutes, took another 53 to get out of the 12. Do you think that's a credit to Abbotsford or something?
They got better as the game went on. We have to give them credit. When you look at their top 9 forwards, that's as good as any 9 in this league. And you got guys like Barchi out there. Those are very, very good hockey players. So, I don't want to take anything away from Abbotsford. That's a very good hockey club, and we had to be sharp against them. So we'll get out of that with 2 points, and we'll take it.
You come out of that, as you say, with 2 points. Another 2 puts you 11 up on the Rochester Americans. Are you even thinking about that still with them back there?
Well, again, this thing, we know hockey as well as anybody. You do, Todd, and these things are never over till it's over. We still got them 5 times. So, if we can get some help from Lake Erie, that's great. I heard I'd heard they're up 3-0 Lake Erie. So we'll take the help if we can get it. But at the end of the day, we just want to make sure that when we get into the playoffs, we're playing our game. And no matter who we play, we'll play Marley hockey.
You had Cozen and McKay out today. Was that just to get some guys back into the lineup?
Yep, we have a rotation we're going to have to go through, and we've been through it this year where I didn't have enough players, and now we've got 18 forwards here eligible to play, and guys that are competing at the level we expect them to compete at are going to dress. So I'm finally at a point here now where I can dress guys as needed, and we can slot in a physical lineup, a skating lineup. We've got different weapons that we can throw now, so it's nice to have that in our arsenal.
Is it a bit of a relief to go from having almost no centers to an abundance of them?
Yeah, too many. It's feast or famine in this league. I've learned that. But Kenny Ryan, Sam Carrick, those are players that may have spent some time on right wing now, and they're capable of doing that.
So just some thoughts on, I thought it was a back and forth game. Each team sort of dominated for stretches. Was that just a function of the power play? Is that what all the goals?
Yeah, I thought the game for 40 minutes had some good pace, and then I thought the last, in the third period, I think we got off the rails a little bit, both hockey clubs, and it came down to specialty teams, as they often do in this league, and it was nice that our power play was able to get the job done. We scored a 5-on-3 goal tonight, which is something that's been rare for us as well this year, so it was nice the power play got on the board, but again, it was an odd hockey game. They played a hard game last night. We had a hard game yesterday, so I wasn't sure what to expect, but it was nice to come out of it with 2.
Do you guys feel like you have any kind of edge in special teams if you've got maybe a little extra talent in the lineup these days?
Yeah, what you're doing is you're saving the D'Amigos and the Carricks to kill penalties, and the Kenny Ryans. They're not double dutying guys, and then Peter Holland can spend maybe an extra 20 or 30 seconds out on the ice in a power play situation. So it gives us different weapons and allows players to play to their true identity and what they're going to have to do to play for the Toronto Maple Leafs. And for Jerry to play in the power play is great here, but he's probably a penalty killer in the NHL. But again, it'll be nice to be able to play these kids in their specific roles.
Garrett Sparks a little shaky to start, but settled in after a while. What do you think of his play?
Yeah, you know what? These guys are probably playing more minutes than they expected to, both he and Christopher Gibson. So it's great. It's part of the nurturing process for them as young professionals. But the fact that they're getting these minutes is going to serve them well, not only for this year, but for next year and the year after. So it's great. They're putting pressure situations, and I thought he did a good job for us tonight.